This is my draft final project for Info 251 Web Usability Spring 2020, Professor Kovacs, on the usability of the Ohio State University Library Special Collections. I did my web usability project on the Ohio State University's Information Technologies Digital Initiatives website. My client was Michelle Henley, Discovery Services Manager. She listed one option for testing, but there were others available if there was sufficient interest. The website that was listed for testing was the Special Collection Registry. She wanted to know how it interacted with the Special Collection Digital Collection results in Discover Search. Specific patron groups that she wanted the website usability tested for were graduate students, doctoral students, and researchers. I thought I would begin usability testing and evaluation by looking at the website, seeing for myself how it is laid out, getting in touch with my client, running the website through the web access usability tool wave.webaim.org to find any errors that may be present. The site is intended for adults, students, faculty, librarians, researchers, and anyone else who might wish to access the Ohio State University Library's resources. In this case, specifically related to its collections. It is well organized, with each collection clearly labeled, each with an associated image, and with a button to click to browse each collection in more detail. It used language that its intended users would be able to understand. The goals of the site are to enable users to search through the materials in the collections of Ohio State University libraries, as well as to allow library visitors to locate Ohio State's primary materials in order to support their research efforts. The website captured my interest. The first thing that caught my attention was the beautiful deep red color. That drew me in immediately. As stated previously, it is also well organized and easy to understand and navigate. There's also a link for accessibility resources for disabled persons. The wave error test turned up 1 error, 18 alerts, 21 structural elements, 3 contrast errors, 5 features, and 2 arias. To make the site more accessible, the library could fix broken or skipped links, fix the contrast, monitor their alternative text, check their images for redundant alternative texts, check for redundant links, check for no script elements, check for redundant title texts, make sure their images are linked with alternative texts, make sure there are no skipped links, make sure there are no skipped link targets, check their heading levels, check their ordered and unordered lists, and check their arias and aria labels. Michelle Henley said that the intended audience was students, faculty, but especially researchers, which kind of encompasses the first two. She described the ideal user as someone who is familiar with the subject and is looking for more in-depth information that might be housed in an archive. They want to find information about the special collections held at the Ohio State University libraries. They're typically doing research on a topic, and the registry provides descriptions, usually in the form of a finding aid, about the distinct materials held by our various special collections units. Billy Ireland Cartoon Library and Museum, Bird, Polar, and Climate Research Center Archival Program, Hillendar Research Library, Jerome Lawrence and Robert E. Lee Theater Research Institute, Medical Heritage Center, Ohio Congressional Archives, Rare Books and Manuscripts, and the University Archives. It also includes information from the Knowledge Bank, a collection of intellectual output of the Ohio State University faculty, staff, and students. A portion of the material has been digitized and is available to view online, but the majority is available by appointment only in a special collections reading room. She said that the curators and librarians personally interact with the faculty and researchers when they come for a class visit or make a research appointment. A hypothetical example of an ideal user is Rachel, a 28-year-old researcher. She has a specific idea of what she is looking for in the special collections and is already quite familiar with the library. She is doing climate research and knows that she needs to check in the bird, Polar, and Climate Research Center collection to find the information she needs, as well as knowing that she might also check the knowledge bank to look for information on climate science from instructors who teach it. She has made an appointment ahead of time to view the information she is seeking in the Special Collections reading room, as well as looking online to view material that has been digitized. Having known to make an appointment ahead of time, she is able to have a more personal one-on-one interaction with the curators and librarians. Rachel knows to look in the Bird, Polar, and Climate Research Center collection to find the information she needs. Since she already knows specifically what she is looking for and where to look for it and what terms to search for, it is relatively easy for the librarians and curators to assist her in finding the information she needs. Navigating to the library website's Special Collections Registry page, under the Bird, Polar, and Climate Research Center collection, she clicks on Browse Collection and scrolls down and clicks through the collection pages until she finds an article that discusses the information she's looking for. Or she can do a search for climate change, climate science, climate data, or something else along those lines and find an article that discusses the information she is looking for that way. Michelle Henley said that potential or underserved users might be the masses of folks who come in from Google, spend a fair amount of time, but for whatever reason do not reach out to get more information about the collection. Perhaps they don't know how, or they do understand but it isn't worth the effort, or they are unsuccessful, or well, who knows. They might not have ever been introduced to the special collections and have limited research experience. They may come to the website hoping to find something related to their topic, but without an understanding of how material is described or how it is available to view, they may be overwhelmed and confused. She also said that we can see through web analytics that visitors are coming to our pages via Google, etc. There is also anecdotal evidence that people discover we have things through word of mouth instead of through searching the library programs. A hypothetical example of an underserved user is John, a 24-year-old graduate student. He does not have much experience using a research library and has only a general idea of what he is looking for. He has been trying to search through using Google, which is also how he found the Ohio State Library, but has not had much luck. He is not that familiar with the library's collections. Not knowing exactly what he is looking for, he is not entirely sure which collection he should be looking in, reducing the librarian's and curator's ability to help him, since he cannot be specific about what he is looking for. He also did not know to make an appointment ahead of time, so the librarians and curators cannot give him as much one-on-one time as they would have been able to otherwise. He is feeling overwhelmed and confused, and also as though his needs are not being met. Because John does not have a specific idea of what he's looking for and does not have a lot of experience using a research library, he does not know what specific search term to use or which specific library collection to look in, and he has to look through all of them, which wastes a lot of time. Also because of these things, and because he did not know to make an appointment ahead of time, the librarians and curators are unable to give him as much help as they would have been able to otherwise, and are also unable to point him toward a specific collection. This again means that John must instead look through all the collections and try a variety of different searches to find whatever he might be looking for. Unlike Rachel, who knew specifically what she was looking for and where and how to find it, and knew the procedures of the library, which also helped, and therefore she had a positive library experience, with making it more likely that she would use this library again, whereas John, on the other hand, had a negative experience and therefore might not come back to this library. I analyzed the searching the catalog function. On the main Special Collections Registry page, I did a search for rare books and documents. This took me to a page containing collection listings and more detailed descriptions of the items in the collection. I sketched out each of these pages and steps. I created wireframes of each page. User number 1 and user number 2 found that the order the site was originally or currently in made sense. User number 3 suggested that perhaps making the search function more prominent on the main page anyway, such that users will start with a search and reduce the collections. At first, the site seemed fine the way it was, but then the more I looked at it closely, I thought that currently the collections are prominent and the search bar is in the corner and tiny. In terms of making it more search friendly, maybe move the search bar front and center on the main page at least, and make it bigger such that users will start with a search and move the collections off to the side and make them small. My draft usability report is adequate to provide my client, Michelle Henley, with at least most of the kinds of information she originally asked for. For example, she asked for an analysis of the search function of the site, which is the function I ended up choosing to analyze. I also browsed the website, gauging its usability for myself, ran it through a web usability tool site to look for errors, and reported my error testing results in order to help her understand what elements of the site could be cleaned up error-wise so as to improve the usability of the site. Based on her descriptions of the site's intended audience, ideal users, and underserved users, I came up with hypothetical user personas for a typical ideal user and underserved user. There are areas where further testing might be desirable, such as card sorting and doing usability testing using more actual users. And here is the URL for my draft usability report website. Thank you for watching this presentation. I hope you find it useful. And here is my reference list.